In this video, I will demonstrate how to turn a photo into a kaleidoscope using Adobe Photoshop. For this project, I found that the best images are ones that have lots of lines and shapes and are very graphically interesting. I would avoid images that have radial balance, like a sunflower or hubcap in the center of the picture plane. They just don't work as successfully. You'll want to create a new document. You could also choose a preset if you want, but change the width of the artboard to 8 inches and the height to 8 as well. Switch to inches in the dropdown, and 300 resolution with RGB color is fine. Click Create. Go up to View, and you want to make sure you have a check mark next to Rulers and next to Snap. And in the Snap To menu, make sure everything there also has a check mark. Then go up to your top ruler, click on it, and drag your cursor down to get a guideline. Drag this line to the 4-inch mark. If your ruler is showing pixels instead of inches, your midpoint would be 1200 pixels. If you want to change your ruler to inches, go to your Photoshop preferences, and you can change it under Units and Rulers. And then on the left ruler, also click, hold, and drag out another line to the 4-inch mark as well, and let go. Now open your picture in a new tab. Right-click on the background layer and duplicate it, just in case you want to make changes and you'd like to have that backup copy. Go to your toolbar and click on the Crop tool. Up in the Control panel, set it to a 1:1 square ratio, and then mark it in 4 inches by 4 inches. Click on your image and drag to make sure to show the part of the picture that's most interesting, and that's the part you would like to keep. Then click Enter or Return, or select the check mark above to accept your crop. Select the Move tool in your toolbar and then click and hold your cursor on the image. Begin to drag it over to the other tab, the one with your artboard, and when it loads on the screen, drop your image onto that artboard. Hopefully yours fits perfectly, but the size of mine is not quite right. So I can go up to Edit, Transform, and Scale it, or use the shortcut keys Command or Control-T on your keyboard. I'll zoom out to see the edges of my bounding box and click on the corner to resize it. You may have to hold the Shift key to help keep the proportions correct as you resize. Zoom in and make sure it fits nice and snug in that box. Take your time and be precise. Get as close to perfect as possible. Accept that transformation. In your Layers panel, right-click on the image and make a duplicate layer so that you're on Copy To. Click OK, and with your Move tool still selected, click and drag the duplicate layer up to the top of the box. With that duplicate layer still selected, go to Edit, Transform, and choose Flip Vertical. You should see the duplicate layer flip. Notice the star on the wing on mine is on the other side. Back in the Layers panel, right-click on the second copy and duplicate that. So now you're on Copy 3. Still using the Move tool, click and drag that third copy to the top right box. Let's flip this one, so go to Edit, Transform, and you'll flip horizontal this time. Last copy, so right-click on that layer, make a duplicate, and now you're on Copy 4. Use the Move tool and click and drag it to the bottom right corner. Go up to Edit, Transform, and this one you'll flip vertical. So now you'll notice on mine that all 4 stars are on the outside, top, and bottom sides of the box. Before you move forward, zoom into the center and use your Move tool to make any adjustments and make sure your lines are meeting nicely in the middle. You can't easily make changes after this next step, so feel free to pause and save this version of your work. Zooming back out, go to Layer, Flatten Image, and now all the layers are flattened into one. Right-click, duplicate the layer, click OK, and turn the visibility off of your original background layer. Make sure the background copy layer is selected, and back in your toolbar, click and hold on the Lasso tool, and you'll choose the Polygonal Lasso tool. I'm going to zoom in a bit so I can be precise with this tool. You'll want to see both top corners and your center point. You're going to draw a triangle. Click on the upper left corner, hold the Shift key, and then click into the center. If you hold the Shift key, it will snap at a 45-degree angle, which is very helpful. Keep holding Shift and click in the upper right corner. If you make a mistake and want to try again, use your Escape key to start over. Then come back to your starting point and complete the triangle. You'll get these dotted lines known as marching ants. Next, you're going to want to right-click and select Inverse, or you can go up to Select in the Control Panel and choose Inverse. Then hit the Delete or Backspace key on your keyboard, and it should have deleted everything except for the triangle itself. Hit Command or Control D to deselect and get rid of the marching ants. Now you're going to make 3 more copies. In your Layers panel, right-click on that layer, make a duplicate copy 2, then up in Edit, go to Transform, and you're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Oops, I'm still on the Polygonal Lasso tool, so I'll hit Escape and switch to the Move tool. So now you'll want to move copy 2 over to the right and line it up with the other one. Now back in your Layers panel, right-click, duplicate the layer for copy 3, go up to Edit, Transform, rotate 90 degrees clockwise again, and move it into place. And for the last time, right-click in your Layers panel, duplicate the copy for copy 4, go up to Edit, Transform, rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and move that one into place. At this point, zoom in and do any fine-tuning. I see that I have some shapes that are not aligned, so I'm going to use my Move tool to adjust, and I can also use the arrow keys on my keyboard to nudge the triangles around. You may see some white lines between your triangles. You can go ahead and adjust and try to hide those, or you can do the opposite and make each section have a white line between them like it's part of the design. Zooming out, you can click on the guidelines and drag them off to the sides to get rid of them. You might also want to click on your Crop tool in the toolbar and crop out any part of the canvas that's showing. If you'd like, you can go up to Layer, Flatten Image, and you can discard hidden layers, but you don't have to do that step if you want to keep your layers separate. And now it's time to save our work. So go to File, Save As, and I save it in my Creative Cloud files in a folder I've made for this class, renaming it my first name, last initial. This is Unit 03.4, and this is our Kaleidoscope. I save it as a Photoshop document, and then go back to File, Save As, and I change the format to a JPEG for my website. And that is how you turn a photo into a kaleidoscope image in Adobe Photoshop.